Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, Kavya.
Yes. We'll start the session at 3:05 as we are waiting for more participants to join in. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. As we are about to begin, please remember to mute your microphones. I have a few reminders before we begin today's program. Firstly, I would like to encourage all the participants to keep your videos on during the session to make this as lively as possible. The session is being recorded, just for your information. Secondly, if you have any questions, please write them in the chat box. It will be addressed during the Q&A sessions at the end of the program. And lastly, we would like to request all the participants to fill the feedback and polls towards the end of the program. Thank you for your cooperation and attention. Hello again. I'm Kavya. I'm an assistant professor at M.S.Chellamuthu Institute of Mental Health and Rehabilitation, and it is my pleasure to be the MC of the webinar today. On behalf of our institute, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you. We appreciate you taking the time off your busy schedule to join us here today. Having a job, in many ways, is set to improve our individual's health and our overall attitude towards life. But many of us face significant stress in our workplace that it outweighs any possible benefits and even poses a significant threat to our physical and mental health. Workplace stress, as said in a lot of comedies and jokes, is the conflict between one's desire to keep one's job and the overwhelming urge to just quit and live on the street. But workplace stress is preventable. We have lined up two brilliant speakers who will help us learn a lot about how to deal with stress in our workplace and have a happy experience engaging in our work. We would like to start this program with a prayer. I invite Ms. Princey Hannah, Assistant Professor at MSCIMHR, to conduct the prayer.
Prayer. Oh God, when I have food, help me to remember those who are hungry. When I have work, help me to remember the jobless. When I have home, help me to remember the homeless. When I am without pain, help me to remember those who suffer. Help me to destroy my complacency, question my compassion, and be concerned enough to help by word and deed to those who cry out for what we take for granted.
Thank you, Ms. Princey. MSCIMHR is renowned for conducting webinars and certificate programs that enhances the knowledge of participants academically and promotes well-being of individuals in different aspects. The institute is part of the M.S.Chellamuthu Trust and Research Foundation that is focused on human resource development in the field of mental health. Now I invite Mrs. Sadhvi Nirmal, Assistant Professor at MSCIMHR, to give a brief introduction about M.S.Chellamuthu Trust.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm so happy today to tell a few words about our trust. So M.S.Chellamuthu Trust and Research Foundation is a non-profit organization which is founded in the year 1992 by our founder, Dr. C. Ramasubramanian. He is one of the leading consultant psychiatrists in our state of Tamil Nadu as well as in our country. So our trust is one of the largest mental health service provider in the state of Tamil Nadu. The vision of our trust is to provide mental health for all, and our mission is to promote holistic mental health care, which is affordable and accessible to all. And these are our program interventions of our trust. So we provide mental health literacy, treatment, rehabilitation, livelihood promotion, and human resource development. As a part of our mental health literacy, our main objective is to educate people, understand the importance of mental health, and to inculcate in them that mental health is a preventable, treatable, and curable one if identified at an earlier stage. So we reach out to various stakeholders such as teachers, students, parents, healthcare professionals, traditional healers, and caregivers. The next spectrum is the treatment spectrum of the trust. And Ahana Hospital, which is the sister concern, takes care of the medical management. And it is a 130-bedded neuropsychiatry hospital. And we have nearly 6 branches in Madurai. And Ahana Hospital has touched more than a lakhs people's life through its excellent service. And these are some of the services offered through Ahana Hospital. We provide 24/7 psychiatric emergencies, outpatient services, as well as inpatient services, counseling services, laboratory services, and pharmacy. So our trust strongly believes that in addition to the timely treatment, rehabilitating the person with mental disabilities is equally important. So we have two different types of rehabilitation, which is institution-based rehabilitation and community-based rehabilitation services. And our trust has one of the largest rehabilitation infrastructure in the state with nearly 450 beds. And in our livelihood promotion spectrum, we create livelihood opportunities for persons with mental disabilities to make a living. We train, we give them training in various aspects, based on their skill sets and based on their interests. We give training to them in various aspects through various production units, and all the products which is marketed, which is produced, is marketed through the brand name Care Factory. So in order to bridge the gap between the need of mental health professionals and the availability of mental health professionals, our founder has started this institute, M.S.Chellamuthu Institute of Mental Health and Rehabilitation, with a mission to promote mental health through holistic mental health care, which is affordable and accessible to all. And through this institution, we offer various academic and research programs in collaboration with 3 different universities, which is Tamil Nadu Open University, Madurai Kamaraj University, and Alahappa University. And we facilitate need-based training programs to develop the mental health competency of various stakeholders. And these are the various programs which are offered by the institute. We offer PhD in psychology and social work, MSc in applied psychology and counseling and psychotherapy, MSW in mental health, PG diploma in mental health, and PG diploma in school counseling, which are 1-year courses. And we also provide a lot of short-term certificate courses. And to talk about few of our special projects of the trust, we have Arka Special School for children with intellectual disabilities, and we provide various services such as special education, physiotherapy, speech therapy, psychoeducation, and counseling for caregivers. The school is run exclusively for children from rural background, and the services such as education, food, and travel are all offered free of cost, and more than 5,000 children have been benefited out of this Akash Special School. And Trishul is a 30-bedded de-addiction center supported by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Government of India. And here we offer services such as detoxification, counseling services, psychoeducation, relapse prevention, and network building. So here as well, we provide a 21-day treatment free of cost, and nearly 6,500 people have been benefited through this initiative. And Subiksham is a family fellowship program of the persons with mental disabilities. And the objective of the Subiksham is to enable the members of the family to support each other and help them in terms of need and to become stronger. And Happy Schooling is another project of our trust, which is a joint initiative of Chellamuthu Trust, HCL Foundation, and Madurai Corporation. This initiative is to promote the emotional and psychological well-being and academic excellence in 24 schools, which is run by Madurai Corporation. And next project is a Speak. This is an initiative to change conversations on suicide and promote mental health. So as a part of this week, we also have an initiative called Speak to Us Initiative, which is a mental health helpline. It is a joint initiative. It is launched as a collaborative joint initiative of Madurai Corporation, HCL Foundation, and M.S.Chellamuthu Trust and Research Foundation with the technical support of Basic Needs India, Bangalore. So our mission of Speak to Us Mental Health Helpline is to empower callers by creating a safe, supportive platform that offers an opportunity to speak about their distress, psychological distress, and we also hear them with empathy and respect. So here, the Speak to Us mental health services offer non-judgmental listening and confidentiality to the callers, and the service is open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. All throughout the week from Monday to Sunday. So we have our trained volunteers who are ready to help you out, and we offer possible course of action for clarity. So some of the awards and recognitions of the institute includes national and state award winners as a best institution in the field of mental health. And we're also been recognized as a research institution by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. So these are our contact details. You can, please note this down in case of need. So this is the toll-free number of Ahana Hospital, which is 900 600 and 6000. And this is a Speak to Us mental health helpline number, 93754 93754. This is our helpline number. Yeah, so once again, I'd like to welcome you all to today's session, and I welcome you all. We wish that mental health becomes your priority, and as you all become the family member of our trust, we welcome you to join a moment and let us all promote mental health together. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving us a short and clear information about the trust and the institute and the various endeavors that we are involved in. To begin the session on workplace stress, we are pleased to have Dr. Anthea Washington, Professor and Dean of Academics here at MSCIMHR, to deliver the opening remarks and introduce the first speaker.
Thank you, Kavya. Distinguished speakers for today, Ms. Nour Jabbour and Dr. Sam Jebin Manohar, dear academicians, professionals, friends, students. It is our privilege to meet you all on this platform and get insights on mental health at work. We have participants here today from different places, and it gives us immense happiness that you could make it to this webinar. As it was shared now, M.S.Chellamuthu Institute of Mental Health and Rehabilitation is a premier educational institution founded in the year 2008. The institute is one of its kind in the field of mental health care in Tamil Nadu. We provide experiential learning and research opportunities for our students. Before moving on, allow me to share a few words about our Wellness Lantern initiatives. As we would all agree, personal and workplace wellness is a universal pursuit that is imperative for all individuals and corporate productivity. Recognizing this importance of wellness for all, M.S.Chellamuthu Institute provides professional wellness services to cater to the specific needs of the people. And true to our Wellness Lantern's tagline, promoting wellness for better living, the Institute strives to transform human lives by promoting holistic wellness through various programs such as wellness assessments, education, training, research, and consultancy. Our vision is to be a premier institute beyond borders in providing wellness services for the wholesome transformation of individuals. Some of our signature programs are appreciative mindset, adversity quotient, happiness habits, innovative mindset, behavioral blind spots, personal excellence, team excellence, and appreciative mindset. Our Wellness Lantern events are grouped under three broad categories, namely school wellness, corporate wellness, and family wellness. This webinar on mental health is one of the many events under the corporate wellness pillar. We also offer tailor-made training programs, short-term courses, and personalized counseling services. So having said that, why a webinar on mental health at the workplace? Undoubtedly, mental health is the need of the hour. So mental health has been talked about for years, but with the pandemic causing havoc in our routine lives and bringing in sudden and unexpected changes in work life, we are subjected to severe mental health snags, I'm sure, leading to varied unfavorable psychological responses. So many people at work are experiencing increased levels of stress, depression, and emotional issues that hinder our performances and overall quality of life. And you would all agree, research studies have shown an increase in mental health problems the world over. So an increase in the prevalence of mental health issues necessitates that we talk about it, we exchange thoughts, create awareness, and work together for addressing mental health issues among people, particularly at the workplace. We would like to reach out to people, educators, practitioners, mental health professionals, and friends inclined towards mental health care. And what better way to achieve this than to connect through a webinar of this kind. So the webinar aims at providing key inputs to managing workplace stress and enjoying workplace happiness. We have two experts here who would be sharing valuable insights and help us understand the ways to effectively manage our mental health. Mental health issues cannot be fought in solitude. It needs discussion, collaboration, and networking with people across the globe. And this is one platform for connecting and partnering with people like you. Together, let us scale up good practices for promoting mental health So wishing you all a fruitful webinar. It is time now to introduce our first speaker, Ms. Nour Jabbour, to you all. Ms. Nour Jabbour is a mental health specialist at the Ministry of Mental Health in Qatar. She has earned her bachelor's degree in nursing and master's degree in psychiatry and mental health from the American University of Europe. She has rich work experience in the field of mental health, having worked at the Ministry of Public Health in Lebanon, the psychiatry unit at the American University of Europe, and was a school psychologist at Jesus and Mary School at Jabbour. With her educational and training background, she was involved in teaching psychiatry at the University of Parliament, as well as the Red Cross University. Ms. Nour has worked as a preceptor at American University of Europe. She also has a keen interest in interdisciplinary education and research, and is actively engaged in several projects across services for improving the quality of mental health on a national level in Qatar. Ms. Nour is a member of the committees in the WHO Eastern Mediterranean Regional Office Councils in Qatar. Ms. Nour, it's a pleasure to have you with us. So now I request you to take over the session. So over to you, Ms. Nour.
Thank you very much for your introduction. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nour Jabbour. I'm the mental health specialist at the Ministry of Public Health. I will be talking today about workplace mental health stress management. It is an interactive session, so if you can participate in the activities that will be done, maybe something you can carry while you're at work. So can everybody see my screen? Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so if you can use your phones and scan this QR code and keep the page open. Okay, so you will see an image which asks you what are your major stressors at work. So if you can click on the image, see what are your major stressors. A lot of people complain about salaries, about work which is not of their own job description, having not a lot of support. So it's very different for different people. So a lot of people might focus on having low salaries. However, others would rather have more times off than having a higher salary. So if you can just see where do you find what is your major stressor at work. And I can see that opportunities for advancement are a general concern for having mental health problems at work and feeling stressed. And sometimes the culture does not fit. So here in Qatar as well, it's many different cultures. So there might be some misunderstandings that might happen. So generally, the main stressors at work are irregular work hours, having many demands, finding lack of support, and we will be talking about a lot of these and how to overcome them. And as you know, and everybody now has agreed that bullying does not only occur in the playground, it also occurs at work. So a lot of people might be facing bullying at work, and it can come in the simplest forms when they feel that they are alienated from your colleagues, when you might alienate someone without noticing, or having someone talking about someone during a meeting. Bullying does occur in the workplace, and it can create a very toxic environment. Some organizations might have no clear job outline where you have to work outside of your scope of practice, and the physical environment as well. And even if we work in offices, so personally working in the Ministry of Public Health, it's a very cold environment, and that causes me sometimes shoulder pain, back pain. So it has even like office environments affect you, and you have to recognize that as a stressor. And deadlines usually are stressors, as well as lack of security and lack of participation in decision making, which we will discuss, office politics as well. So generally, stress can be of two forms, acute or chronic. So acute, it's for a short period of time, and when it's for a short period of time, you get more excited, you become more alert, you have a deadline coming up, so you might be a little bit worried. Some people might eat more, some people might eat less. So over a short period of time, when you're feeling stressed, it could be, it has a physical effect on your body. However, when it becomes chronic, the symptoms of it tend to become more serious and more detrimental. So people with chronic stress have higher blood pressure. They tend to take more times off because their immune system becomes decreased. So they become sicker more often. Diabetes develops, and depression and anxiety and panic attacks, as well as eating disturbances occur. So our aim is to not develop chronic stress and to have this regular amount of stress, which is within the optimal level. So as you see in the chart, when you're not stressed, you're inactive, you're a little bit bored. However, in the optimum stress, you're feeling motivated, you have more energy, you become more focused. Your peak performance comes during when you're stressed. And stress has is beneficial for you whenever you're feeling you're close to a deadline, and helps you focus and feel much better, or there's an opportunity coming up and you feel more excited. However, imagine your body's reaction when they see a lion. So if you see a lion, your body's reaction would be that of stress. So you would run, your body is at its peak performance. However, if you are facing a task and that's causing you to have this feeling for a long period of time, then we would start to go over stress overload. So being stressed for a long period of time is having that lion chasing you and you're not relaxing. So it's good for a short period of time, but we need to go from being at peak performance, relaxing, and so on. Whenever it increases over a period of time, you become fatigued, exhausted, panicked, and eventually at work, it can lead to burnout and breakdown. So the first thing we need to do is check ourselves. How are we feeling? Are we stressed? What do we need to do about it? So you have to ask yourself, how is my body reacting? Am I feeling sick more often? Am I catching more colds? Do I have more pain in my muscles? My stomach, is it clenching more? Am I always worried? Am I sleeping well? Is my appetite changing? Is it decreasing? And am I feeling apathetic? Do I just not care anymore? Do I feel like there's a problem? Do I feel angry most of the time? So ask yourself, am I having these feelings for a while? And is it my body? Is it my mind? Where am I feeling this, and what usually time am I feeling this? And sometimes we need to ask someone how they're feeling. So when we see someone feeling always anxious or agitated. So if your colleague at work might be, every time you might approach them, they get surprised, they get anxious, they're always worried, or they come when you approach them, they're on the verge of tears. Maybe that person is very stressed and might need to talk to someone. So are they coming into work late? Are they coming exhausted? Are they do they say statements like, I don't know why I'm doing this? I don't care anymore. So once you hear these, you can identify your colleagues if they're stressed and if they need help. So what first can you do for yourself? We generally tend to reward ourselves whenever there is a major event. However, when we start learning to reward ourselves with everyday activities, this can make the next day better. So when you can reward yourself by, after a long, tiring meeting where you have tried your best to prove a point, or you have finished the presentation and you would like to celebrate it, or just surviving a very tough day where a lot of problems have happened, give yourself a break, reward yourself, and it can be something very simple at the end of the day, and recognize when you need the reward. So the next day, once you are on the next day, you can become more excited to feel better. So if you haven't scanned the previous, you can scan this now, or it's still the same website. So you will see images, and you can click how do you usually reward yourself. Okay, so some people usually like to get themselves a special type of coffee, going online, checking what deals are available, getting a massage, going to the beach, going for a walk, going to a mall, just browsing, giving yourself a facial, or doing some meditation. And some people would just want to have a nap, because that could be as simple as just taking a break from seeing things. And as I see, like some people would like to play video games for a while. So do these little things whenever you feel that you need to reward yourself for whatever small tasks you have achieved that day, and you will feel better the next day. Because once we keep on putting ourselves waiting for the next best thing, you won't appreciate and you won't have the energy for the next day. So simple things, by going out to eat, going to the movies, playing a video game, taking a break, these can be very helpful for your own mental health and for the stress of the next day. Other things which you can do in your office to reduce your factors is having good relationships with people. And good relationships is having people around you who have positive outlooks. I know that some of us would like to be always supportive to others, but you cannot be always with people who leave you drained. So if you feel drained with someone, if they are not feeling well, be supportive. We will talk about guiding other people to good resources. However, you need to also be a good person to support and to be able to support others. So relationships should be inside and outside work, and have good relationships with others. And one of the questions which I generally get asked at this with relationships is that sometimes some people come whenever it's a cultural thing where you tell someone, I cannot speak right now, I'm not able to listen. It can come off as rude. However, having good and healthy boundaries and trying to take care of your own mental health and well-being can help reduce factors which can later on increase stress. So be mindful of your own self and your own boundaries, and be supportive of others in a way that you are also helping yourself. When we come back from work, we generally, whenever we come back from a general day at work and it was a very tough day, we might come up with a phrase that everybody at work isn't helpful, or everybody is bad. So we might need to rechange this concept or retry to rephrase it. So did I generally see everybody? No, you don't see usually everybody in your own company on that day. Did you see your department? Maybe not all of the people, maybe just the team. Was the whole team being unsupportive, or am I having problems with every member of the team? Not generally, not. Maybe it's a colleague. And sometimes maybe I'm just having a bad day, or maybe just the colleague is having a bad day. So try to work on, whenever these statements come up in your mind, to think that it's not breaking down this generalization from everybody to what it is specifically. Other things which you can do is participating in planning and scheduling. So a lot of us might say that, well, this meeting could have been an email, or they're just not there in the meeting. However, we might get down into something which might affect us. So instead of sometimes sitting idly or not participating in certain decision making, whenever possible, can eventually cause us stress. So work trickles down, work expands. So once we are more into actively listening into meetings and activities and plannings that are being done, the more we anticipate what we should be ready for, and we can voice out our own opinion. I will discuss redesigning workflow. So think of a person who smokes, and think of how much do they usually take a break. So a lot of smokers, they take 1 to 2 minute breaks every 1 or 2 hours. I'm not encouraging smoking, however, they do take a break. So taking this break for yourself, even getting away from your desktop, moving away from the screen, moving away from a little bit from the office, going up and down flight of stairs, doing some activity for 1 to 2 minutes, taking a couple of deep breaths, which we will do later on, can be very beneficial in reducing stress throughout the day. So office jobs tend to go on for hours, and we rarely take a break. So remind yourself that you need to take a break and take a deep breath, and to be able to continue and refocus more on work. Exercise is very helpful, as we know. It can help release the stress. So remember the story of the lion. So your body is reacting like that. So once you coordinate your mind, which is stressed, to your body, the tension is released. So exercise after work, or just going up 1 flight of stairs, can transfer this energy into, transfer it out, and then you might feel a little bit less stressed. And healthy diets are very, very helpful in maintaining good amount of stress and not leading into depression and anxiety. So being a good delegate, if possible, and being importantly, saying something in a meeting and going out for a walk in the park are very helpful. So in redesigning the workflow, I know that most of the days we might think, well, everything is important, everything is urgent. However, try to break down what you might be doing at that day. Is it important, or is it urgent? So it's there's a difference. So once we divide what's important and what is urgent, and then we start breaking these down, the effect of everything might be less and you can cut out time wasters and learn to drop unimportant activities. So just think about what's urgent, what's important, and what needs to be done and what should be done can be helpful in your own day-to-day stress management. So we're going to do a few activities in order to decrease your stress and to manage stress. One of the things is your own practical ways to relax, whether it be stretching, taking a breath. Once in a while, we will do some deep breathing. When you have a flow of information occurring, a lot of activities occurring around you, be mindful of the information that is happening. So let's say the COVID outbreak, when we were bombarded with information which were of not good resources and continuously bombarded with information. This does not only occur during these outbreaks. However, there might be rumors spreading out or anything that might occur. Just be mindful of when you take in the information and from where do you get it. Having good enough sleep helps you revitalize your body and repair your immune system. And as I mentioned, taking breaks, having good peer support and talking to your colleagues, checking if they're okay, and feeling connected with others and staying connected with your family and friends, and having a good exercise routine. So we will try now, if you can join me, to do some breathing exercises. You can put one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach. And if you can take a deep breath and hold, and then exhale slowly. So we're going to count from 4, 5, and 7. So take a deep breath. While taking a deep breath, you count to 4. So let's try this. Breathe in, hold, and exhale slowly. Feel the rise of your chest, relaxation of your stomach. Take another deep breath. Exhale slowly. So this can be a short relaxation exercise which you can do at your office. Close your eyes, focus on your breathing. 4, 5, 7. Take a deep breath, counting in, hold it, breathing out. It helps you refocus. Back to work, and it gives you a short break from any stressors that are affecting you. And having activities which you are interested in after work can be very helpful. Joining a group, having play dates with your children, these can be very helpful after work. And one of the things which we can do in order to give ourselves a break after work is making sure that we have all of our needs at home. So we rarely need to do errands whenever possible after work. And that can be very helpful in knowing that you can relax after work instead of trying to make up to do other things. So having everything available at home, trying to do the shopping during the weekends can be very helpful at the end of the day after work, so you feel like you don't need to, you have time to relax instead of doing more chores, if that is possible, and how you can arrange that. And having good information, balancing information of any news that are occurring, having a good support group of ventilating your feelings, and supporting others, and having good social support group. Some people seek religion or spirituality, and that can be a good helpful method to feel to feel less stressed and feel more supported by what you believe in, and practicing religion and prayers can be very helpful to some people. We will practice a mindfulness exercise after this. One of the things we're going to do is listen to an audio about self-compassion. If you can, please close your eyes, listen to the audio, try to react, and maybe you can practice it later on self-compassion.
Being kind to ourselves and others is very important. After all, no matter in what kind of difficult situation you find yourself, you will cope better if you have a friend by your side to help you. And what kind of friend do you want to have by your side? Someone kind and caring and supportive, or someone unkind, uncaring, and unsupportive? Clearly, we would all prefer a kind, caring, and helpful friend. And yet, many of us do not treat ourselves in a kind, caring, or supportive way, especially when we become hooked by unkind thoughts about ourselves. Do you ever have unkind thoughts about yourself? Of course you do. Everyone has these kinds of thoughts. It is normal, but it is not helpful to get hooked by them. The more you get hooked by these thoughts, the more difficult it will be to act on your values, focus on things, and engage with the people around you. We cannot stop these thoughts from appearing, but we can unhook from them. So we will practice this now. Recall a nasty self-judgment, such as, I am a bad parent, or I am weak. Now silently say to yourself, I am noticing the thought that, for example, I am noticing the thought that I am weak, or I am noticing the thought that I am a bad parent. Now silently say to yourself, I am noticing an unkind thought, and I am going to unhook myself from it. Ground yourself. First, slow down. Slowly breathe out. Stretch or push your feet down. Now notice the world around you. What can you see and hear and touch and taste and smell? Stretch your body and engage with the world. Here you are, here and now, able to choose how you move, able to take action.
So practicing self-compassion can be very helpful in everyday life. So we get these intrusive thoughts. Just remember to breathe and ground yourself. These thoughts try to carry you away. One of the things that the audio mentioned is push your feet down. And this helps you reconnect to what you're capable of doing. stretching, feeling your body and your capabilities, and these thoughts will no longer take control of your actions. So being kind to yourself as you would be kind to your own friend. And always have hope that things will be better, that the day will be better, the next day will be better. Be optimistic, and that can help you be a little bit less stressed and be hopeful for the next day. So another activity which you can practice is mindful saying. If your desk is at a window, or if you're near a window, or if not, try to close your eyes and imagine a place where you love to see. So if you can practice it now, if you're near a window, look out the window. If not, close your eyes, imagine a place. Try to see everything as if you're seeing it from a child's view. Notice the colors, notice the smells, notice how it works with the environment, how it moves with the environment. Notice the shapes. Try not to point out what they are, but what your senses see, what colors they are, how would they feel on touch, how would they feel on your skin, what do they smell like. If you're at the beach, if you're at the mountains, how cool is the air. Try to see it as if you're seeing it for the first time. Be observant and not critical. And if you become distracted, gently pull your mind away from these thoughts. Focus back on being mindful of what you see, what you feel, what you smell, how would it feel. So this is a practice which you can do at your desk, imagining a place, imagining the feelings that you might have and how you would react to them. And that can be a practice you can do everywhere. And whenever you experience a nice sunset, keep that image in mind so you can replay it and make you feel more calm, oriented, and be able to face the tasks of that day. If you can go back to the website, it's still the same link. And if you can, write what are your priorities, just a statement. So priorities differ from one person to another. People would rather have a priority of traveling to a certain destination, having good support, a good amount of money, a certain number. People might like to learn a new skill, or it can be a job title. So what is your priority? What do you feel like you would like to focus on? What would you like to achieve? So once you think about that and you decide what it is, either you can quantify it or take it or take a picture of it. Maybe it's supporting your family. It's a certain destination. If it's a destination, Google image, print it out, put it on your desk. If it's a certain money, which you want, a certain amount of money, write it down, keep it as a reminder. If it's gaming, if it's a game that you would like to buy, take a picture, put it around you. So once we identify what our priorities are, the days that we feel that it is the hardest days, and we look back, we take a step back from our jobs, from where we're working, and we see this constant reminder at why am I doing this? And why am I going through this tough day? And this can be a gentle little reminder that I'm working towards being independent business owner, or I want to have a comfortable amount of money to support my mother, my father, my children. I would Bali needs this much amount of savings. So once you make it into a number, a figure, an image, it can be a gentle reminder for you to remember when days are tough, that this is what you're working for, and you're going to go through this day, you're going to survive this day in order to feel better and get what your priority is. And it can be your next job application, or it can be your next title. This can be your priority, and this is a stepping stone. And where are you on your stepping stone? So having a picture of your own priority, putting it in front of you when days are tough, can be very helpful for you to go through this day, which is very stressful. We will watch now a short video about stress and when it becomes too much.
Everyone experiences stressful times, but can you tell when stress is becoming toxic?
Some key signs are when we're not able to do our important life activities, like we're not able to remember our appointments, or we're procrastinating on important things like paying our bills or buying groceries or attending to our family members.
Dr. Beth Rush, a Mayo Clinic neuropsychologist, says when stress reaches a point where a person can no longer function in a meaningful way, it might be a sign of something more severe, and you should see a healthcare provider.
Something more serious may be going on, like anxiety or depression, that needs to be treated and evaluated.
She says stress can be unpredictable, and it's important to take care of yourself.
Sleep, eat well, make sure you're exercising, manage your emotions, give yourself a timeout if you need to from activity or stimulation or interaction.
For the Mayo Clinic News Network, I'm Jason Howland.
So when stress becomes overwhelming, we should be starting to seek counseling. We don't want stress eventually to become chronic, cause us disease, physical, mental. So when symptoms are debilitating, it is preferable to seek counseling, talk to a professional, see how they can help you and how they can help you rehabilitate from stress and make the effects less long lasting, and you would be able to feel better with professional help. And sometimes whenever we feel that when we put our priority in front of us and we're not reaching it, or there's something not helping us get there, maybe we need to reevaluate what our goals are and reevaluate how we are working towards them. So importantly is to talk to a mental health professional, seek help. If you have a hotline, in the university or in general, you can talk to someone. We have one in Qatar to contact someone if you need to talk to someone. Mental health professional. We have governmental hospitals, the government hospital, the Hamad Medical Corporation, and the primary health care, which people can go to and seek mental health professionals. And we have specialized hospitals for children and adolescents, for addiction, and for certain areas which they like the Red Crescent, where they do regular testing and have crisis clinics. So does anybody have any questions? I'm going to check. Okay. So maybe if you have any questions later on, I will be ready. And thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The session was really engaging, interesting, and we got to learn how to identify our stress and how to identify stress in others as well. I learned a lot of strategies to deal with stress, and I hope our participants did as well. Thank you, ma'am. It was a really engaging session.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm available to the end of the session, so if there are any questions, I'm ready to answer in the chat.
Yes, Nour, we will take the questions after the second session. So,
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Mrs. Sagi Nirmal to introduce the second speaker of the day, Dr. Sam Jebin Manohar.
So good afternoon, everyone. It's my honor and pleasure today to introduce the speaker to Dr. Sam Jebin Manohar, sir. He has done his doctorate in social work with HRM specialization. He's an expert in strategic HRM, HR policies and processes, employee relations, talent acquisitions, employee engagement, senior HR professional. He's a senior HR professional with more than 3.5 decades of experience in academics, industry, and consulting. And he has a lot of certifications. He is a certified leadership coach affiliated to International Coaches Federation. He is a senior certified professional in Society for Human Resource Management, and is certified in Trait Emotional Intelligence by Thomas International, and is certified in Adult Learning Techniques by Achieve Global, and is certified in Direct Training Skills by Ministry of HRD, and is certified in International Design. And he has a lot of professional affiliations, and he has taught postgraduate courses on human resource management, and he's a resource person. He acted as a resource person in a lot of national and international seminars, and is a trainer for soft skills, leadership, and teamwork, and is a certified coach for executive development. So we have with us today a resource person with a vast experience, with a vast academic and industry experience. So it's an honor and pleasure to have you here, sir. Without further delay, I hand over the session to sir.
Thank you very much. I would request you to share, give me the permission to share the screen. In the meantime, it's really an honor to listen to a speaker like Nour. And she had set the ground for me to start because the way she approached the whole issue of workplace happiness is to work on oneself, to be happy, irrespective of what's around you. So my approach to the subject is also from the same angle. And I would need more of participation from all of you. The reason being, all my slides are very interactive, and I won't be able to move further unless you all help me. So I would start and hope all of you are able to see my screen. Yeah, okay. I will go to the presentation right now. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I would need everyone to speak because we are all sitting in different places. Even though I hail from India, I am right now sitting in Dubai, and we know the earlier speaker was from Qatar, and we have many people joining us from around the world. So though the distance is separating all of us, we are together with oneness of mind because all of us want to be happy, and all of us want, as psychologists, to provide happiness in the workplace. So it's time for all of us to come and enjoy this session and express our happiness to one another. So we all will be enthused. At the end of this session, we feel that there are many people like us around the world who want happiness. So there is a Stoicism person who has told that out of every goal human beings want to attain, happiness is usually of the highest priority. Tom Mills is a person who has written a book called Stoicism, where he says that irrespective of what happenings around you, you should learn to be happy. And that's what would help you to be successful as a human being first, and a citizen next, and a helpful person for the humanity around you. And all of us here today assembled are trying to do that for ourselves and also for others. So my main happiness of joining this session is that I'm speaking to people who are influencing the life of others. And I have my professor sitting here. I see my junior sitting here. I have my student who is an ex-principal of the same institute and Madurai Institute of Social Work sitting there. And I see a lot of students sitting there, and all of you, and to contribute to this session, we are going to learn mutually. So shall I move to the next slide? That's one test to see whether somebody would say yes to me.
Yes, sir. Please move on.
Thank you. Okay. So there is a word which is here, appearing here. It's a Danish word, and having a Scandinavian presence. So most of us wouldn't have heard about this word, but is anyone who heard about it and who could pronounce this right? Okay, join with me. Let's pronounce this word. It's Habitskliti. Ha, A-H-H, bits, B-I-T-E-S, bits, glethe. Habitsklithe is the word from where today's topic came, the happiness at work. Happiness at work concept first began with this by people wishing each other, saying, Habitsklithe. So that's the topic given to me today. So it's to learn that how we can be happy irrespective of what's happening around us, and also make others feel happy, because having born as human beings, the load of stress comes along with that from the very beginning of our life. So having accepted that concept, we should also find, as psychologists, as social workers around the world, that the human beings are same and we are here to help. I would move on. The workplace happiness is a subjective, it's more than a subjective experience. It's not that, like I'm a human being, I'm going to work and I'm going to go through this because I need to earn, I need to get a promotion. And it's more than all that. And it's to accept what's going around us and choosing to be happy in our everyday work life. There are many environments which we can make us happy. Like you see in this picture, you may get a recognition and all your friends would clap. And the next moment you would see some of these friends come out and make fun of you and throw some unnecessary allegation against you because of their own problems, and they are hurting and they are trying to show it on you. Situations would change very often in a workplace because the relationship is very professional and it's business-like. In a personal relationship, there could be more intimacy and there could be more freedom to talk to, but that doesn't happen in a workplace. And that's the major difference between a personal life and a professional life. And all of us have both. So we don't have a choice. We need to work. Even if you feel that I'm a homemaker, I need to work. I need to provide for my family the food and the support what they need to go out, to live. So everyone have a responsibility and we need to provide it for others. And so we can't escape that. So in this situation, we need to also understand, though we are living in the same world, where we are going to the same workplace, the way we see differs based on the generation we belong to. As we see the work as baby boomers, those are all the people who are born between 1946 to 1964. They classify it based on the cultural sensitivity we have and the adaptability we have to different situations. So as baby boomers, we were workaholics, we were loyal to the company. You know, we always work for a long term. So we are called as pensioners. Now nobody stays till getting their gratuity as per Indian law. They have to stay for a minimum period of 5 years to earn their gratuity of having served a long service. But it's very rarely done nowadays in software companies. The shelf life is 2 to 3 years. But in our days, I belong to a baby boomer generation. I stayed till the last day to get my gratuity, and some people stay for 30 years, 40 years in the same company. And they are good delegators, they are team players, they believe in paying dues on time. And currently, you would see that the baby boomers in the workplace are roughly around 33%, which is continuously diminishing. And over the next 5 years, 3 to 5 years, they would become 5% and they will vanish. So who is taking over the workplace now? The people who are in Generation X. At the senior levels, you find more Generation X people. They are the people who are born between 1965 to 1980. And they were looking for, some meat in an operation. If I do something, it should be meaningful. And I need positions. I need work-life balance. And they follow rules. They are independent. They are resourceful. They are very highly leadership-oriented people. They are right now in the leadership position in most of the companies. And even, there are big companies like Google, Microsoft, you name them, and all the CEOs belong to this Generation X. So right now, they are around 32% of the people in the workplace, but they are also diminishing slowly. And in another 5 years, they'll be 20% or even less. So most of the people who are taking over are the people who are in Generation Y and Generation Z. Generation Y are the people who are born after 1980 and to 1996, who are more flexible. They want purpose in their workplace. They want to improve their skills. They want to stay competitive. They prefer working in small groups where they could show their effectiveness and their identity. Right now, they are around 30%, and they are also in another 5 years, they will become 35%. But after that, they would also start declining. Then the people who are millennials, who are born with the cell phones, who are born with the internet, who are living in YouTube, are the people who are going to take over. They are the digital natives. So they are concerned about their security, money, and how much I can earn and how fast. They are more pragmatic than the millennials. They look for hard rules, facts, figures, measurables. We need to talk to them with rationale. They say, show me. You do this, then they say, show me. You will get this, then they say, show me. So everything has to be a touch and feel for the people in millennium generations. They know the entire world at their fingertips, and they can find out anything and they can challenge you. Right now, there are around 4% people, but they are increasing to 40% in the coming years. I stop here and I challenge you to ask me questions. Why do I say this here? No questions? Why do you think that I am bringing the topic about generation in a workplace happiness subject? Mr. Srikanth?
Sir, I think because Generations will be keep changing now, sir. For every 10 to 15 years, new people will be taking charge, new ideas will be coming. So people from new generation will be occupying the important positions in a company. So the future and growth of the companies depend upon the ideology of the next generation people.
Very good answer, Srikanth. Very well told. If a company wants to provide happiness to its people, it cannot be one straight jacket solution. They need to look at the needs of the people in different generations, the behavior pattern of the people in different generations, and they need to have policies which would suit all these people as per their generational diversity. So the diversity is playing a key role. Even my earlier speaker, Nour, told about the generation, the cultural diversity. Diversity is playing a key role in providing happiness to especially MNCs who are employing people from different countries, different generations, and they need to be sensitive to what these generations want in today's workplace. So it's not.
There is,
Yes.
excuse me, sir. There is an answer in chat box.
Okay, that was Princey providing an answer for someone. So I'll move on.
Hello,
So
sir.
there is
Sorry,
an
sir.
answer in the
Excuse me.
chat box. I'll just read it out.
Okay. So I will move on. See, the work situations, what these generations, younger generations are taking up is not like the work what we all did. I would just like to show you about the nature of work, and I would come there. I'm just quickly going to a slide which I had later on, and I would move on there. Okay. The work situations, what the younger generations are facing, are much different from the work situations what we all went through. If you take the history of work, the work began with agriculture. The people were very happy going to the field, were plowing the land, working with the nature. But later on, somewhere around the 1900s, people wanted the goods to be produced as a mass production. So they had to do that in a factory environment. So the people who were enjoying the open air, people who were working on the field, were compelled to come inside four walls and work in shifts, work in assembly lines, do the same work again and again. And most of us in baby boomers, we worked in those kind of environment. But the people in Gen X, Gen Y, they are more digitalized environment, wherein the people can work in a workspace. It's an open workspace. It's an office environment. People go there, they work, and they don't have to sweat, except a small portion of the people who are working in the factories need not to sweat out to earn their bread. And they are called white collars, so they are more. But during the COVID, you would have seen that the people could work from home. So workplace is not compulsory for them. They can choose where they want to work from and what timings they want to work. And all flexibility are available for the new generation. So it's more of an intellectual challenge rather than a physical challenge, as most of the earlier generation people went through. Providing an environment of that kind itself would be a challenge for the employers to make people happy, because you would have heard about a great attrition following the great COVID. After the COVID situations, most of the companies which allowed employees to work from home are finding it difficult to call them back. When they call them back, they all had to say that if you could give me a locational choice of my own, I would continue with your company, or I'm changing the company, which is going to give me that option. So many companies had to continue with that, and they are now finding it difficult to get them back. So though the choices are many, the kind of work situations is completely changing for the new generation. I've given an example here to show you the extremes. The lucky few are there who could work from home, the comfort of air-conditioned office, the comfort of their own timings, the comfort of flexi timings, the comfort of work-life balance. But there are also people who work in call centers. The kind of call quota for them is 400 calls per night. And they work on the graveyard shift from day in and day out. And the kind of stress they take creates all kinds of disasters in their health and in their family life. And finally, many people die at the age of 40 or 40 to 50. And many people have health issues. Their families are ruined. And there was a study in the year 2007 by Rajesh Mahabatra in the call centers in India, which showed that almost 25% of the people have either of these diseases, sleep disorder, digestive troubles, eyesight problems, apart from that, all kinds of family problems. So it's an extreme work situation, what is available. There are lucky few who can choose, but there are a cursed few who have to take the work because of their need and their situation in life, which pushes them to take very hazardous work. This is the kind of work environment which we have today, at least in India. Now, given this background, what is that we could do as people or human beings or psychologists and social workers who are supporting these human beings in the workplace to derive happiness is what we need to see. So there are various building blocks for bringing in happiness in the workplace. So one is to help with these people to build a personality pattern which helps them, like stoicism, which would help them to stand firm and bold, irrespective of what is happening around them, improve their social connections, talk to the management and provide them autonomy in decision making. We would go in detail in the subsequent slides. And if they are going through a financial security, which very rarely in most of the companies nowadays, because the employers are providing the wages to that extent that they are able to have the financial security. But apart from that, the human beings have got other needs to be happy. They want to be creative. They want to have a good environment where they would find good friends. They want to have diversity in the workplace. They want to have work-life balance. So an employer has to provide all this. One side he has to do business, another side he has to provide all this. Unless he also makes a balance, it's very difficult nowadays to have people who continue with the company for a long time. There could be more of attrition, and there could be more of turnover, and there could be more of people not sticking to the company, which can affect, or engaging with the company, which could affect their productivity. So here is something which talks about the productivity factors. The 54% of the people, of the employees who are proud of their company, contribute, that they are feeling proud of the company because the company is engaged in contributing to others, feel that they should also contribute to the company more. And similarly, the people are happy when they have positive relationship with the bosses, and they feel lower stress levels when they work in a company. So there are a few statistics which are thrown here and there, which I'm showing you. But what we need to focus is that we need to work on personality traits, how people perceive the workplace, what stresses they are getting, which are specific to industry, and how they could use emotional intelligence to overcome these situations and be happy, irrespective of what is happening around them. There is a quote from Sean Anker from his book, The Happiness Advantage. A company with happy employees could increase their sales by 37%, productivity by 31%, which directly contribute towards building a high performance work environment. And the quality of life for all the people involved with the work. So it's very obvious, every study which is talking about happiness is talking about productivity. So it's a very well-known fact that if the people who work with you are happy, they are going to give you more productivity and you will have a better business. All employees are conscious about it, but it's not that easy to provide because happiness is not common for everybody. What gives you happiness to one person will not give happiness to other. So the happiness concept, when I was reading through, I found is all deep rooted in the same old concept of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. All of us here, I know very well that they would close their eyes and recite Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, because for all of us, it starts from day one. And so we all know about it, but I would like to reiterate and relate it to the work situation. The first need, as everyone knows, is of course, breathing, food. We need to have water, sex, sleep, homeostasis, and excretion. Just like any other living being, we need to do this. And once we know that, yes, we are a living being, then we look for safety, we want house, we want protection in a job situation, a confirmation, and we need a family, friendship. And once we have all that, we feel that we should also be recognized as someone in the society. So we look for esteem. And of course, when we live long and we are coming to the end of the life, when we look back, we want to see how best we did this life in this world. How was our morality? How was our creativity? What is that I've given back to this society? So we want to look at the self-actualization as the topmost need of any human being. But now you see how we can relate it to a work situation. The first thing, the people come to a work to earn salary because they have a family, they need to feed them. The employers use that as a golden handcuff by giving more to a person who contributes more to the company, because they also want him, he or she also wants the company. So have a golden handcuff. Now the next is, once we engage them, they want to leave because there is another guy waiting over there, giving another $500 more and ask them to join their company. So to make them stable, loyal, they try to provide stock options to people. They provide to say, oh, you stay with me for 5 years, I'm going to give you this house loan for you. So they have different methods of providing around their safety and comforts of life and engaging them in their work. And once they do, and if they are specialists, they want a lot of their professionals, they want similar people around them. So colleagues, friends, lifestyles, they build around them. The company encourages that. Then nowadays, as I was talking to you about the generational diversity, here is what I would like to emphasize. The current generation of people, especially those who are working in very creative environments like information, technology, in that also now artificial intelligence. Now the latest ones which are coming as data science and blockchain area, IoTs, these are all very creative areas where the current generation want to engage at a very young age. And most of this could be done by individuals or small groups of individuals. So they don't want to join a big group of people and work in a factory, and they want autonomous work. I put a small acronym there as ROVI. Could anyone expand that? ROVI? Okay, it's right of work everywhere. Like I want to work anywhere, work from anywhere. Holacracy, it's that it's an autonomous work environment where a short-term project is given to you, you work complete, and you get the benefit of it and go. And so people of this generation want those kind of work environment, and that alone provides happiness. Do you think that every factory or every organization would be able to provide it? Then if everyone does that, then who would give us food? Who is produce clothes for us? And who would make cars for us to drive? So this work cannot be done in all the industries. So the choices are minimum, but maximum number of people want to go to those kind of work environment at work and derive happiness. Then finally, in the work situations, when you really grow, you want to go to the peak and show that you are the leader and you are the one who could run the company, and you want to make a meaningful impact in your own society, inside the company, and through your company to the outside world. So you start thinking strategically, and you want to provide that for the organization. People derive happiness from which position of need they are. If people are looking for only salary, they'd be happy with the salary. If people are looking only for a loyal organization which provides them a long-term employment, they are happy with a stable work environment. If people are looking for a good number of professionals around them, they are happy when you have similar type of professionals working with you. If people are happy that I would need this job, I will finish this job, I will enjoy it, and I would derive happiness, they are happy. Excuse me. But if people are looking that I should be the leader, I should be having the control, I should make an impact to the society. But in a pyramid, when you get to the top, the space is also narrow. Everybody won't be able to do that. So in that situation, what do? If everyone wants to be the CEO of the company, then there could be only one. What happens to the rest 99? They are not happy. So how do you manage these situations? How do you talk to people and make them to accept reality? And how do you make them feel that they have alternatives to stick upon? Is what brings happiness in the workplace. Let's move to this. The focus on employee wellness and happiness nowadays in the organization is felt because most of the people, 72% of the people, are highly stressed because they say they have no connection to that company at all. They are not able to feel connected to an organization, and they feel that whatever they do for me is not meaningful. Even though they give me money, I don't feel that it's meaningful to me. I'm looking for something else. And 92% of the people who are millennials, reject profit as the measurement to provide them with happiness. If the company makes profit, I'll get money. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for more non-tangibles. The happiness doesn't come from the salary alone. The happiness doesn't come from the comfort alone. The happiness comes from a small pat on the back by continuous feedback. This is what is the research findings on the workplace happiness nowadays. So based on this, in today's environment, what are all the best places to work for? The best places to work for in today's environment, as per a study by Fisher and Simons, is the place which would provide human touch to the people in the organization. This is a human era of the workplace. This is no more a workplace with machines. This is a workplace with people. And today's workplaces are those in which people can flourish and be their best instead of pretending to be someone in a 9-to-5 job. They come to the workplace and they want to be transparent and they want to contribute and they want to flourish. And do they have the freedom? That's a big question mark. And that's where the stress comes in, as Nour was talking about. And also she was giving a lot of methods of handling it in the workplace itself. The perfect workplace gives people the flexibility and autonomy as to where and how they work. But the question is, as I was mentioning again and again, for how many percentage of the people can we provide this? There are a lucky few, but there are cursed many. Build on the culture of growth and trust. The organization have to be very open, no hangy-pangies. Even if you cannot pay them well, you need to tell them upfront, and so that the disappointments, the stress, the sense of not knowing what's going to happen, insecurity would be less, and the workplace happiness will improve. In the workplace, suppose you need to study what is happening in your workplace. There are many questionnaires. I would recommend for the people who are interested in measuring it quickly to go for work design questionnaire by Margeson and Humphrey. He talks about 10 factors with which you measure happiness in the workplace. Workplace autonomy and freedom, task variations and scope of creativity and ideas. I would just spend a minute in explaining this. Workplace autonomy and freedom to decide is the one I was talking about, the Roe v. work model, where they have the autonomy to complete a task, and once the task is allotted, there is no questions asked till you complete. Only the question would be on the results, what you produce. And the current generation people are looking for those kind of work, and if you can provide that, they would be happy. The second is task variation and scope of creative ideas. Just contrast this or compare this with what happened during the beginning of industrializations in 1600s, when the entire assembly line was a repetitive work, and people like a robot need to go on, tightening the same screw, thousands after thousands, and how it would have been vis-a-vis the task variations which the current generation is asking for. The task significance. Am I doing something worthwhile? Am I doing something for which I studied? Am I doing something which would take me further in the dream profession I am looking for? Is it significant for me? Or I am completely sitting as a square peg in a round hole? So this is a big question for human resource professionals, because people just join a company as they don't have any other choices. But when they come in, they start looking for the significance of work vis-a-vis their qualifications, their career path. And this is where we need to look and address happiness of people. Recognition of work. It's not money what they're looking at. It's a small pat on the back. It's a continuous feedback. People are looking for continuous feedback on their work. They are not waiting to hear from the boss at the end of the day saying that you did a bad work. They want them to interfere at the first mistake itself and correct them. And that's what gives them happiness. The task difficulty, they don't want to take non-challenging work. They want to take works that are challenging. They want to take, they want to improve professional skills. They want social support in the workplace, feedback from supervisors, continuous feedback from supervisors, a good environment to work. And they want to use that to develop contacts and grow. And we can't expect people to stick to the same company for a longer time nowadays. They seek for happiness and they go to the places which give them happiness. And I would close with this video. All of you are able to see this video, at least an S now. Are you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is a small video which talks about pursuing happiness in the workplace.
The pursuit of happiness in the workplace is a never-ending journey, no matter who you are or what you do for a living. Thankfully, there are many ways to make your workday more pleasant and productive, thereby increasing your chances of happiness. First, figure out what makes you happy at work. Do you enjoy creating something or helping customers? Do you like making a coworker's day better? Do you find fulfillment in knowing your work has improved the community? Whatever makes you happy, cherish it for as long as possible. On the other hand, if you're unhappy at work, find the source. Is it your job duties, colleagues, customers, or something else? Speak to management to see if changes can be made. Otherwise, things may stay the same. At the same time, ask yourself some honest questions. What type of attitude do you have at work? Are you friendly? Do you complain a lot? Do you do your fair share? Think about it. When you have to deal with an unpleasant person at work, how does it affect your happiness? By changing a negative attitude into a positive one, you can help change the tone of your workplace. One big source of unhappiness is boredom. If you're bored with your duties, look for a new opportunity within your job. Not only could this help you re-engage with your work, but it could lead to something great, like learning a new skill. You spend a lot of time with your coworkers, so do your best to build relationships with them. Yes, the workplace can be filled with conflicting personalities and worldviews, but when work gets difficult, you can rely on each other. Plus, having friends at work can help make your day more fun. Finally, if you leave your job, don't burn bridges. While the thought of telling off people who have wronged you may seem tempting, it will only hurt you in the long run. For instance, your new job may contact your old one in reference to your work history, and you don't want some cathartic insult to come back and haunt you. Leave your job with your head up high and your name in good standing. Happiness is something we're all pursuing, but by being proactive and positive in the workplace, you can make happiness a little easier to find.
Hello?
Yes, sir, we are back.
Okay, I'm just trying to come back to my screen. Just give me a minute. Okay, so to sum it all, don't worry, be happy. It's a song that we all know. So whatever be the situation we are in, we need to learn to be happy. And as psychologists and social workers who are listening to this, I would suggest that the generation is changing, the workplace is changing. The people are moving from people who are permission seeking to independent actors. People who are awaiting directions in the workplace to be self-learners. People who are only focusing on job responsibilities defined and given to them, looking for multiple responsibilities. People who are trying to avoid conflicts now want to confront and build constructive and effective relationship in the workplace. People who are looking for doing things perfectly, taking few chances and confining to an area of specialization are now looking for willingness to try new things. Even though they fail, they want to learn from failures. People who were looking for making popular decisions and do that very cautiously are now looking for opportunities to make quick decisions, move forward and increase speed and achieve business. People wanted to preserve status quo as a director, as a vice president, now are looking for results and to show their effectiveness through business results and achievement in business. So the world is changing, the working environment is changing. So the way that we prepare ourselves to support the people to be happy in the workplace also need to change. Instead of looking at a straitjacket solution for the workplace happiness, let's try to play it along with them and see that we adapt to the workplace environment and provide solutions to the people who are seeking happiness to achieve a workplace happiness. And with that, I conclude and thank you very much for this opportunity. And I wish that we would all have a happy working day, and also we will be helping people to have a happy working day forever. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was a really insightful session, especially for me. When you were talking about the generations that are there in the workplace, it's really relatable because I come from a team where we have all 4 generations, and I got to understand the members of my team a little bit better. And I hope all of the participants here got a lot of information to understand what they want in their workplace to make them feel happy. Thank you, sir. The floor is now open for any questions. The participants can address the questions to the speakers themselves. You can also drop the questions in the chat box and we'll answer them. Yes, Kiran. Yes, Kiran, sir.
Hi. You don't know whether I'm X, Y, or Z. You added the sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. I would like to thank the organizers for enabling us to get the benefit of 2 very remarkable speakers. My question, it was an afternoon really well spent. My question is to Ms. Nour. There seems to be a multiplicity of online, probably fly-by-night organizations which give these ready-made solutions. You know, you keep getting these surveys. Are you stressed? Are you stressed? Answer this, answer that, try this, try that. Facebook recently asked me, answer these 10 questions and see on a scale of 0 to 10 how stressed you are or how happy you are. And in fact, my stress level increases when I realize that Facebook knows I'm stressed. That itself frightens me. I don't see why Facebook should be aware of that. So my question to Nour is, can we rely on these online? Would they actually mislead us rather than help us? And from your experience, are there any reliable online mechanisms or online, say, stress management indicators that we can use or that we can recommend to other people? Or should we just stay clear?
Thank you, Kiran, for your question. Regarding the online questionnaires, well, I would rather not suggest any of them because they might give you a sense of more stress than you might be feeling. However, if you do feel you're stressed, acknowledge your feelings. So there is no quantified amount where you can give a certain number. However, if you feel that you're stressed and it's affecting your daily life, and if it's something which any of the suggestions which I have done, or if you have searched other suggestions of meditation and stress relief are not okay, then you would then it would be better to seek help. Maybe that's more anxiety or other things. The problem with these online tests are they're biased, and your answers would be biased once you read them. So and they give you a self-suggestion, so you would feel like yes, I would feel that, and then the situation grows a bit different in your head. So if you are feeling stressed, if you know you're feeling stressed, just acknowledge it and try to work on it accordingly. A good international resource is the WHO website, and they have a large booklet. One of the audios which I used was from the WHO booklet, and it is the self-compassion one, if you remember, and it's part of the major booklet on how to decrease stress, and it has many good resources and activities and thoughts which you can use. So if you would like that, I will add it to the chat. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you very much.
Any other questions? The floor is open.
I just like to thank the organizers for all their support and help and allowing me to be part of this this event. Thank you.
Thanks, Nour, and it was really great hearing you. And all the participants, though you're not asking questions, I know that you were very attentive participants, and then it was encouraging for us to see all of you. And we are thankful to the organization and the organizers, as well as for all of you. Hope to see you in the next webinar soon.
Just hold on, Anna, Kavya.
Yes, sir. So we would like to hear about the experience of the session. So I request all the participants to fill in the feedback form that's been given in the chat box. I request all the participants to fill in the feedback form that's been given in the chat box. Please make sure that you're giving your name with the correct spelling for us to issue the certificates. Yes, Mr. Kevin.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Please go on.
Yeah, so please make sure that you're giving your name with the correct spelling so that it will help us format the certificate correctly. And your e-certificates will be shared within 5 working days.
And before we, yeah, sure, Kiran.
Sorry, Auntie. This is to Sam, sir. Doctor, I have it's not a very academic question, it's just a curiosity question. You took us through how happiness and sense of achievement has changed right from the baby boomers all the way to the current generation. I'm just trying to imagine, I'm 45 now. Before I retire, a whole new generation would have come up. What do you think happiness will mean for the next generation? Will it be a combination of all these things?
Yes, it would be. And you asked me a very good question, which makes me go back on my career journey. I started, I worked around 3.5 decades, as she said. So initial was an industry in India. There's an old government company called HMT, Hindustan Machine Tools, which started in 1947. So I worked there and then moved on to IT companies and worked with the company which is producing the latest ERP solutions for the world called Aptian, based out of Atlanta. So in this journey, I've seen all the generations, and especially as HR. I remained as HR from my day one until now. And when I went through that, the same questions I had in mind: will this change? Will the generation changes, or will we change the generation? And I feel the generation changing us is the truth, and they are taking over, and it has changed the workplace significantly. And in the coming years, it will change completely. And maybe if God gives us a lifespan for another 10 years, we would see that the workplaces are more virtual, autonomous, and as self-managed teams with more of gadgets. And we would be digitized, and everything will be on our fingertips. And my wish and prayer is that should not leave the human touch away. That in spite of all this, we should have that human touch somewhere, reaching the people, because behind the gadgets is that blood and soul sitting there with the flesh and bone.
Yeah.
That has to be addressed by all of us who are attending the webinar today. And that's my wish and prayer. So to answer your question, yes, it's going to change. And but we wish that the human touch remains through the generations.
Thank you, sir.
Well, same old Sam. Sam, I'm so happy. Jebin, I'm so happy. And
my guru.
The final touch is very important because you said the value of social work. No, I really enjoyed from the beginning. I was really enjoying it. And same old Sam. Good. God bless. God bless.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks, Anna. So it's my elder brother, my guide and guru.
God bless.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Thank you for the questions. Are there any more questions? Right. So before we move to the end of the session, I would like all of you to turn on your cameras so we could take a commemorative picture of this event. It would be really great if everyone can turn on your cameras.
Kavya, the first presenter, she has very nicely presented her views. I was really taking down notes so that I can share my ideas with others also during our training program. So thank you, Nour, for nice presentation. It was very interactive. We know Sam, but it was first time listening to you, Nour. I really enjoyed. Thanks a lot. Keep rocking.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for all the participants who have turned on your video. At just one request, I would encourage all the others to turn on their videos as well. I'm taking the snapshot in case you want to say cheese, everyone.
It's all in Gen Z generation, I believe. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to all those participants who turned on your videos. Now let's move towards the end of the session. I invite Ms. Princey Hannah to deliver the vote of thanks.
A warm good evening, everyone. It's such a beautiful session, and I think we've all had such a great time. So it's my pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks. Let me do it, okay? So a grateful heart is a magnet of miracles. First, I would like to thank God Almighty for His supreme presence throughout the session and for turning this event a grand success. I'd like to extend my gratitude to Professor G. Gurubharati, Principal of M.S.Chellamuthu Institute of Mental Health and Rehabilitation, for his consistent guidance and support in making the event a grand success. Our sincere thanks to the Executive Board of Members for their encouragement to implement any plans that the Institute wishes to make it happen. So thanks to the Executive Board of Members. On behalf of the M.S.Chellamuthu Institute of Mental Health and Rehabilitation, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude towards the real masters of the ceremony, Ms. Nour Jabbour, for talking about the crucial factors that would definitely have a great impact on all our mental health, and for bringing in a lot of interesting activities. I think we've all had such a great time doing in all the activities that she held for us. I'd like to thank Dr. Sam Jebin for speaking on the facts of the present generation and for giving us a holistic perspective to view happiness at work settings. Thank you, sir. And I think the knowledge shared by both of you would really resonate us among many levels from this moment onwards. So thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. My sincere thanks to the organizer of the meet, Dr. Anthea Washington, the coordinators, Ms. Sadhvi Nirmal, Ms. Kavya Ramesh, Ms. Malar Vili for their tireless efforts and consistent work in making a plan into a practice. Thank you so much, team. Finally, the recipients and the participants of the meet, thank you so much for marking your attendance here and for making this event a real success. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
Thanks to every one of you. Bye and
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Sam Jebin, sir.
Thank you
So much. And to all the dear
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Bye.